Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. Now look at Muriel there, just ahead of Welbeck on goals. He's got 9 goals this season so far, and Merkel there tied up with assists, tied up with Tevez on 5 assists, both doing really well. I really hope that Muriel manages to get Golden Boot again this season. Last season he got around 30 goals, which is just immense. You can imagine how influential 30 goals is to a team, so for him to pick up 30 goals in the Premier League last season was really important, but hopefully he can replicate that and do exactly that this year again. And I hope for his sake that we manage to get him to the gold boot the golden boot status, just like last season, and he continues on. Merkel is actually doing all right. Last season we saw that El Shaarawy was really the assist king, but he's actually been I wouldn't say he's been playing nearly as well as he was last season, in honesty. You know, he's still, he's a much better player than he was last season, but for some reason, on paper, he's just not doing that well. But I had a game up against West Brom, and we gave away a very early penalty, and from then on, it's just going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be an uphill struggle, and I really didn't want to lose this game. You know, our team is absolutely on fire at the moment, but a nice little ball through to Muriel, and Muriel's fantastic ball control and balance there allows him to get himself a goal, and it didn't take long for him to come back and, you know, punish them for their poor defending. But with that being said, a great ball played through to Danilo, who is now out of injury. A bit of a risky ball, but, you know, Muriel's just like, that doesn't even matter, I'll pick that up. And he does manage to get at least a shot on target, and that's what's important. That's one of the big things that I find with Muriel, is that a lot of the times that he might, if he doesn't score, he at least gets a shot on target. Fellaini there gets a goal. He hasn't scored for us in a very long time, and I understand he is a bit of a midfielder and sometimes plays holding mid for us, so I don't expect him to get too many goals, but he is so good in the air that it was nice to see that he got a goal from the corner there. But Muriel, again, getting another shot on target and forcing the corner, and, you know, corners have been good for us recently. They really have, and Muriel all the way back out to him, and he's just so godly to be able to score from that sort of range. I mean, he's not just scoring goals, but he's scoring nice goals. I decided to go for the triple threat substitution, and it wasn't long till we actually ended up getting a penalty, and none other than Muriel who takes it, and he's going to bury that just above the keeper's head if he were to stay right in the middle. That's where I tend to put a lot of the penalties. It's just down the middle and above the keeper's head, because online it is a really tough place to save it, and it looked like the keepers in career mode do struggle as well with those sort of penalties. And just to put the nail in the coffin, Muriel gets his 4th goal of the game. So that's 4 goals from Muriel, 1 from Fellaini. Although I have to admit, our defense was a little bit shabby considering that they actually managed to get 3 goals against us. But with that being said, credit to them for getting those 3 goals, and it ended up being 5-3. Muriel there, like I said, with 4, Fellaini with 1. And, you know, I'm a little bit disappointed to concede 3 goals, but a win's a win, and our team is on fire at the moment. In fact, I actually think that we may even be unbeaten so far in the season. I will say, though, I don't mean to ruin... Well, actually, I do mean to ruin it for you guys, because I'm just going to ruin it for you guys because I know there's going to be a bunch of you that go out and say, I'll put up the difficulty, but I've been through that particular subject so many times in so many videos. I'm not going to go through it again this time, but I don't go completely unbeaten this season. And in fact, there's I believe it won't be next episode, but the episode after, you guys will see where I get beaten, and oh god, it's not a pretty sight at all, to say the least. But I had a game up against Ipswich. This was the Carling Cup, I think, and they actually again get the opening goal, and those are just worrying times when you guys are when I'm conceding the first goal, and it just means there's work to do. I've got to, you know, go and bring that up. But a nice little fake shot there from Insigne. I decided to start him in this game because I don't want him to feel as though he's left out of the squad, because he is actually a very good player. But a great little dive in there from El Shaarawy, and finally at last his little goal drought is over. You know, he was going through some rough patches where he wasn't scoring goals, but it was nice of him to get a goal there. There's the replay for you all, and in all honesty, he got a bit lucky there, and you know, some may say he didn't deserve to get the goal, but he was there at the right place at the right time. And with that being said, I did actually decide to bench Muriel for this game because he plays so many games, and touch wood, I hope I don't jinx it, but he doesn't actually get injured that often for me, which is fantastic. But Insigne plays another great ball through to El Shaarawy, and El Shaarawy gives the middle fingers to all the critics out there. He said he was done, he was over, you know, he had a special good season, he was a one-trick pony or a one-season pony, but that wasn't wasn't the case, as he managed to get 2 goals, and although it wasn't a very convincing win, a win's a win, and we were away at Ipswich, so 2-1 in the Capital One Cup. I'm very happy with that, and that'll do because we do move on, and we are in the last 16, and we go up against Newcastle next, who beat Fulham there, so Newcastle will be a really interesting game. The Capital One Cup is the cup that I want to do well in. I really would like to go far in this cup and at least go to the finals. But who really knows, because with QPR, I don't do that well in the cup. That's the honest truth. You know, in these cups, I never seem to do well. I won the World Cup. That's about the only cup I've won. You know, I tend to get knocked out of the Carling Cup, the FA Cup, things like that, all way too early. But I am really hoping to satisfy the board's needs because they do want a trophy. I completely understand that. So that's going to be my aim of this season, just to come with a trophy, bring that back to QPR, and also a trophy and a 4th place spot would be ideal for me. I'd be really chuffed with that because I feel as though the club would really benefit from that, and it would make my job security a whole lot better. Another thing that I actually took from you guys recently was the fact I discussed scouts last episode, and you guys said the best way to deal with scouts is, one, to buy, if you're gonna buy a scout, buy the most expensive one, or the one that has, the most experience and most judgment and things. Also, when you do decide to put them out, set up a scouting network, make sure you do it in their home country, because they seem to yield much better results in their home country. So I really do appreciate your guys' help on that. So when I do decide to purchase myself a scout, I'm kind of waiting for the right one to come along. I know it sounds a bit like a love story, but I'm waiting for the right one to come along, and from then I hopefully will be able to get a really, really good scout, who hopefully bring in players who I can sell for around the 10 million marker, and at least make my money back on the scout. But it did end 1-1 away at Stoke City. We're still actually unbeaten. We're drawing a whole lot of games. I think that's 4 draws now or something, and we haven't lost, but we're just drawing a lot of games, so that's why we're not top of the league at the moment. But you can't have everything, I suppose, but hopefully we do start to challenge a little bit more for the top 4 spot. I mean, at the moment we're doing well, but I do want to be in that 2nd, 3rd place, just to make sure I'm not battling for 4th when it comes to the end of the season. At the end, though, I do actually decide to simulate a game at Kilmarnock. Last time I simulated a game against them, we actually drew 1-1 to them, I think it was, and but that was away from home, so I was feeling pretty comfortable. It was a home game that I was simulating, and I actually decided to put a relatively strong side out. I decided to swap in Ferdinand there. I decided to also bring Diakite there, Insigne instead of Muriel again, just to really make sure that some players weren't being left out and things like that. But guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video. I apologize I didn't actually manage to get 2nd one up yesterday. I had some really bad trouble with my Vegas, and I don't know, I might have to purchase a new computer because it's acting really weird recently, and I'm just struggling to get out as many videos as I was previously because of this computer. But hope you guys can bear with me, and as I said, if this does get 3,000 likes, I actually already have the other videos sorted, so there's not going to be any technical difficulties as far as getting that 2nd video out if this hits 3,000 likes. Thanks a lot, guys, for your much appreciated support and your continued support. You guys are awesome. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.